We're all the way down to number 1 already.
Time flies.
That's right. So I put number 1 as, drum roll please, the rescan. So a lot of people know about the rescan, but not everyone does. And the rescan is basically just telling the controller to go out and find all these I/O points, whether they're case controllers, comm modules, whatever they may be, and kind of bring them back online. And it is your friend because usually on the I/O boards, if you change a board, you have to do a rescan. If you change an address, you need to do a rescan. All those things. We had mentioned it way back in episode 2. We talked about rescans at length. And it does cure quite a variety of things. But just this morning we had one that a new job had 2 sensors that were not reading correctly on an I/O board, and we were talking about, okay, do we rescan? Should we change the board? What should we do? And he did his due diligence on his end. Turns out it just needed a reset on the communication module, which powers down the boards, and then everything was reading again.
Yeah, I've seen it not always consistent with when you do and don't in a certain situation. I mean, I've seen times when we're switching a sensor type from Control to PT1000 that sometimes you have to rescan to get it to pick up and start reading right. Sometimes you don't.
Yep.
So that changes a little bit too.
Right. And we had mentioned back in episode 2 that when you do a rescan, it will shut the compressors off and they will stage back up. Enjoy the silence for about 30 seconds. And
just don't do, if you're doing 5 in a row, there might be consequences.
Right. Yeah, don't overdo it.
Yeah. And keep in mind, rescan and reset are 2 different things. Resetting a controller is not going to force the controller to go out and look for boards.
Yeah.
You're still going to have to do a rescan if the module's offline.
Right. About the only time it'll do a rescan on its own is when it can't find anything.
Right.